Punk Rock Foodies Radio! This week on Punk Rock Foodies Radio, Implant singer Ken Conte, wings, and beer.
She made me nervous, tucked me in and gave me breakfast. She said, she come from the land down under, with a glow and a thunder. Can you hear the thunder? Railroad, you better take cover. Railroad, you better take cover. And there's a man in Brussels. He was 6'4", full of muscles. Last day he speak my language. He just smiled, gave me a Vegemite sandwich. He said, I come from the land down under, really slow and then thunder. You hear the thunder? Railroad, you better take cover. Railroad, you better take cover.
You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Here are your hosts, Steve Guerrero, Kevin Wells, Brian Reinhardt, and the asshole in charge, Xander T.
Welcome to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. My name is Kevin Wells.
What up? My name is Steve Guerrero.
Hey, and I'm Xander T., the asshole in charge over at Punk Rock Foodies. For those of you who don't know, Punk Rock Foodies is a Facebook group that I started in January of 2013 for people who enjoy cooking and eating kick-ass meals, as well as punk rock music. So check us out on Facebook. As you heard, we got Kevin and Steve with us. Brian Reinhardt will be joining us as well, but right now he's unavailable. As you heard in the intro, we have a great show planned for you. But first, here's some music. Brian couldn't make it. I got a text something about little child on the freeway that he was saving or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he just fell asleep. But
I got caught eating a child on the freeway.
I don't know, something. Maybe it was something about the high school being nearby, and he's not allowed that close.
He was actually 186 from the Vicious Pig Saloon during construction. So, not sure how he pulled that off.
I tell you what, he's missing out on some of their awesome beers they have here on tap at this place, man.
Great IPA.
Oh, really good stuff here. So, speaking of really good stuff here, they've got excellent menu. I was trying some of their wings. You boys hosted a wing bowl, Super Bowl weekend. Tell me about it. What happened?
Wing Bowl 2015.
Woo!
It was pretty righteous, man. We had a good turnout. We had everybody stepped up their game and brought some wings, and most of them made it at home. A couple people made them here, and we had a really good setup lined up. It was pretty fun and yummy time, man. Not gonna lie.
So we had tons of different flavors of wings. Like everyone kind of brought their own style flavor of wing. You had your regular. I brought the regular traditional barbecue sauce wings. There was some what do you call it? The buffalo sauce wings. But the good ones, the really good ones, were the ones that you don't normally come across. Like somebody brought some huli huli wings.
What the hell is huli huli?
Steve, what's a huli huli?
I actually thought it was going to be something a little different, but I think it's just kind of like a salt and pepper kind of wing that's Hawaiian style, so it's probably using Hawaiian sea salts. I didn't ask LT exactly what he used, but that's kind of what it tasted like to me. It was really good, nice, crisp, and not too like... It wasn't plain because it had a lot of flavor, but it looked kind of like, nothing special to it. Then you taste it, you're like, whoa, that's fucking good.
Yeah, it's definitely the other ones, the honey garlic. Those looked like, wow, there's some good shit in there. That sounds fucking amazing.
Honey and garlic.
Yeah. My old roommate Travis, he brought those. We used to live in Redondo Beach and order from this place called Wings of the West, and he pretty much replicated that recipe from it's been close to 8-10 years, and he nailed it, man. Those were freaking outstanding, dude. Probably my favorite of the day.
I made a wing with it was garlic, and I sauteed in a little butter. Then I added grapefruit juice, and that rendered down and it got a thickness like honey, but it had that grapefruit aftertaste, and it was. Everyone said, "Oh, it tastes like Chinese food," which I don't know how to take that, but it was. They were freaking great, man. I think I may have.
Good, man.
I even added a little Dave's Insanity sauce just to give it a little bit of a bite. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think when you get a lot of that like glaze onto chicken, I think people automatically kind of equate it to kind of tasting like orange chicken or Hawaiian or Chinese food.
Yeah, like General Tso's or something like that.
Yeah.
Were all the wings fried? Were they grilled? People bake?
Most of them were baked. I grilled a couple of mine. I went with wings al pastor because, dude, being Mexican, man, that's like one of my favorite flavors. But I've never had it in a wing, so I was like, dude, I gotta fucking try it. See if I could come up with a recipe that's gonna work good for the wing. And dude, it's like pineapple, white onion, cumin, oregano, and some cayenne pepper. Oh man, it was pretty legit, huh, Kev?
Yeah, the al pastor was really good because you kind of tasted the kind of lime in there, but the cilantro and the onion with it was it was like you're eating it would have tasted great if you threw them into a little corn tortilla as a taco.
Yeah, what about the bones?
Well, you take the meat out of the bones, dick. You're a fucking animal. You can go ahead and eat them.
Dude, waste not, want not, bro.
There's good marrow in those bones.
I got a great recipe for you guys. I call them Chicago. Too bad Brian couldn't be here for this one. But this is a dry rub. You take a tablespoon of black pepper, a quarter cup of paprika, a tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons chili powder, a tablespoon of onion powder and a tablespoon of garlic powder and dried parsley and a third cup of brown sugar. You can use that as a great dry rub, or what I do is I add a little oil. I put it in the bowl, add a little oil, little Dave's and Sandy's sauce, mix it up, get it kind of gritty and wet, and then I toss the wings in that. Gives a little bite, keeps them filthy on your fingers, and sweet with the brown sugar.
Yeah, you got it's the proper wing. You need to walk away with sticky fingers. You need I need a napkin, man. Those were wing. I got wing sauce all over me. That's when you know you got a good wing.
You get that shit on your ears.
Oh man.
But any other? You had the barbecue wings. You had the El Pastor. You had anything else that really stood out? Or
my sister-in-law Tiffany made her wings were with Austrian curry salt, which they were really salty, but dude, they were pretty damn tasty, dude. That was a good spice.
Yeah, that was one of those. If you don't like salt, you would have been pissed. Like, what the fuck is this? This is horrible.
Yeah.
But if you like salt at all, like, it was just a great. It was like right on the edge of being almost too salty.
Yeah.
But it was just right there. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Just salty enough for a good beer.
Right? Exactly. But yeah, and then there was Beer Punk's Justin brought 911 wings.
Oh man.
Although I think they're drumsticks.
Yeah.
But they were pretty spicy, I believe. I watched Steve freak out for about 10 minutes, and I said, "Yeah, I'm not going to have any of those."
Those were gnarly.
If the Mexican can't handle the spice,
spicy.
the white guy's not going to handle it either.
I hope you didn't touch your balls after eating those wings.
Yeah, I mean, once you make those wings, you can't masturbate for a week.
You get what are you ordering a drink? All right, we can all get around here. I think a vodka cranberry.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Yeah, that'll be
Cheers.
awesome. No, but this place is a great place, isn't it? Did you try their wings here? They got some really good wings here. Their buffalo wings are decent.
They're okay. They're, they are what they are, I guess. They're not homemade like they are at a barbecue, but the head chef here is pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, he's done some amazing stuff. We'll be checking in with him throughout the tenure of our stay here at punkrockradio.net. If they'll keep us. So you can always check out Punk Rock Foodies on Facebook. We have an open group. We're the good one because there are imitators, but they're kind of shit.
Right now, we're going to jump into some music. We've got a band called Eken is Dead, I should say, and the song is called Outlier. You can hear the song on the new Punk Rock Foodies Sausage Fest sampler platter. And if you check out the video, you can see a video that our friend here, Steve Guerrero, did the video for them. And also check them out live at Punk Rock Foodie Fest. No, Punk Rock Foodie Sausage Fest, February 21st at the Voo in Newhall, California. We'll be right back. You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
First one's in, last one's leave. Wearing our black hearts on our sleeve. We're doing just fine, just need more time. We're not scared to fail, 'cause we've been through hell. We lack the self-serving and the souls they sell. We mask our hate, block out the pain. We roll the dice, the chips fall where they lay. We are the wounded, the excluded.
Hey, all right, welcome back to Punk Rock Foodies Radio here on punkrockradio.net. Coming at you live from the Vicious Pig in downtown Mattersville. Excellent little place. Thanks for having us. We were discussing the wings. We were talking about the Super Bowl, and of course, nothing goes better with football and wings than drinking beer. Steve, you're a big beer fan, as am I. Was there any special brews you had, Steve, at this wing fest thing?
Absolutely, absolutely. My buddy from up north in San Luis Obispo County brought me this beer that I'd been saving for such an occasion. It was a Curly Wolf by Barrel House Brew Company in Paso Robles, and it was a phenomenal maple vanilla imperial stout, and I mean it was so smooth. Wasn't super boozy, just kind of nice and sweet, and good vanilla finish. So it was tasty, man. It was a lot better than that Budweiser fizzy yellow shit.
Hey, speaking of the Budweiser fizzy yellow shit and the Super Bowl, Did you catch the commercial where they basically bashed craft beers? They trying to make it seem like anybody who drinks craft beers is an asshole.
Because drinking beer that's loaded with water and not the alcohol that they say that's even in the beer is so much better than craft beer.
Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous on their behalf. I mean, they're the ones trying to acquire craft breweries. They just acquired one in Portland, I think 10 Barrel, and then they just got Elysian, which is out there as well. And I mean, those sent ripples through the craft beer community, and people were pissed. And you know, when Budweiser went off and did this commercial to kind of even throw more salt in the wound, it was just like, you guys are lame. You guys are just throwing stuff out there with big production, hoping that people don't understand what the piss that you're trying to sell them. You know, it's beer made with adjuncts, dude. The craft breweries are doing it right. They're using quality ingredients and doing it. You know, they're brewing hard every day, and Budweiser ain't. It's all mechanized and just mass produced. It's cheap swill.
Hey, we got Brian on the phone. Brian is here. I guess he's not here, but he's calling in. Hey, Brian, you're on the air, Brian.
Hey, guys. Been listening to the show. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Just wanted to say that I feel really bad that I can't be there with you guys at the Pig, but I hope to join you soon, but kind of on some important operations right now. I heard you guys were talking about the bullshit advertisement from Budweiser for the Super Bowl. That actually rubbed me the wrong way, too, because despite what they say about craft brew, and basically calling us a bunch of hipsters, which I think we are, they bought a Elysian, they bought 10 Barrels, and a few years ago, they purchased one of my local favorites, Goose Island in Chicago, and basically ruined it for everybody. So they're a bunch of hypocritical bastards, and I need some retribution. So since the Super Bowl, I've been at an undisclosed location in St. Louis. Well, I guess now that I think about it, I might as well just disclose it because nobody's listening to this shit. So I'm at the brewery, the headquarters for Budweiser in St. Louis, and I'm going to try and infiltrate this company. I don't really know what my end game is, but so far I've gained the trust of the Clydesdales, and I've been sleeping in the stables. So I haven't really thought about where I go from here, but if you've seen the end of Samurai Cop, it's going to be probably something like that. What else? There was something else. While I'm on the phone with you guys, I wanted to ask you two questions. This is for all of you guys. I'm going to ask the question, but I'm also going to answer because my answer is better than yours, no matter what you say. What are your three favorite bands? I guess they don't have to be punk bands, but I'm going to give you my three favorite punk bands. And what are your three favorite beers? So, in order, I will say Bad Religion. Second would be Bad Religion, and the third would be Bad Religion. Then for me, my three favorite beers would be Zombie Dust from Three Floyds, Goose Island, Bourbon County, which is the last good thing that they haven't fucked up yet. And the third one would be Darkwood from Three Floyds. Those are my three favorites. I want to hear what you're saying. So I'm going to hang up and listen to my answer, or for your answers. Okay, thanks, bye.
Oh, well, all right. Wow. Okay. I mean, the guys get some opinions, you know. And before we get to his question, I just have to say, with all due respect, Budweiser is a company that's trying to make money. And they, instead of just taking the high road and saying, hey, we got a quality product, we don't give a shit about these other companies trying to hone in on our business, they go out and bash the little company. I mean, is it because it's a beer company and not, say, Walmart bashing little mom and pop stores? I mean, that would catch hell. But, I mean, do you think it was Budweiser bashing the little companies or just the people like Steve and Brian who dig all the different craft beers and trying different flavors? And that's how I took it.
I don't see that point of advertising actually working. I think the people who already drink Budweiser are going to drink it. I don't think you're going to convert people who are normally drinking craft beers like, oh shit, maybe I'll give Budweiser a try. you know.
Never heard of them.
And after giving Budweiser a try, I don't see them going, I'm going to give up craft beer. This is so much better.
You know what? I think marketing has worked in that way for them for years. You know, let's do the Clydesdale one. Let's tug at people's emotions. And now they've got this market share that they're kind of losing ground on. So they're having to kind of like, dude, like almost panic mode. Like, okay, now how can we kind of use our true and tried formula and kind of dial it in so we can start getting all these other guys that we're starting to lose. And you know, it's kind of funny to see them on their heels so much because they definitely are.
Now you mentioned that they bought 10 Barrel in Portland. What happens to a craft brewery like that once Budweiser now owns it? Do they start ramping it up and does it turn to shit, or will it still be good?
Well, if they're smart, I mean, every contract I'd imagine is independent. But I'd imagine if they're smart, they keep the head brewers on there, but they just pump in money for distribution and production. Plus, they have such a big distribution network that they're just gonna be like, dude, ramp up the production. We'll get it out there. You know, you guys have a good thing going, and they shouldn't try to fuck it up too much. But the stigma's there. That's like they're no longer a little independent craft microbrewery, but part of this large conglomerate macro brewery. So it's. Right. The diehard fans just kind of shun away right away when it happens, which is a bummer because my buddy lives in Portland. He sent me an Elysian beer last year, the Dayglow IPA. It was probably one of the best IPAs I had last year. It was fucking phenomenal. So I hope, for Elysian and for the loyal drinkers up there, they don't change the recipes and don't mess with that. But who knows, man? They have the money, they have the power to control it. So.
And they've caught a lot of flack with I mean, Kevin brought up the fact of watering down the beer, and then I mean they also Budweiser got sold to a foreign company. Budweiser was all American, and now it's owned by a foreign company. But also there was that stupid can they came out with that was in the shape of their logo, which then made it like an 11-ounce beer.
I never actually saw one in person. Did you see one in person?
I have seen them. I've seen them.
Yeah, I saw the article about him, and I kind of looked for him a little bit, but I never saw it, and I eventually gave up. Pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
And I think they even tried to claim that it, like, aids in, like, the way that, like, the water, like, or the beer pours out. that was unintentional.
Well, yeah, you can pour beer from a can into a glass, and then you got that whole wide mouth anyway, so who gives a shit what the shape of the can is afterwards.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous. It's like, pour it in an ice-cold glass so you know it's cold. Really? Really? Okay.
Well, that's something I hate. Going to a bar, getting a beer, and they pull a glass out that's out of the freezer. It's got ice on it, and they put the beer in. You can't even set the glass down because there's like a bubble of ice underneath, and I don't know. And you can't hold it because it's fucking freezing. It's like, just pour it in a glass. The keg should be cold enough.
Right.
I'll drink it.
Yeah,
like
wherever you're storing your beer should already be cold enough for me to consume it. I don't need a glass in a bar.
Yeah. Oh shit. But let's get to Brian's question. 3 favorite beers, 3 favorite bands. Kevin, you want to go, or you want to pass this to Steve first?
3 favorite beers. Well, my favorite beer is Chimay. My second, I would have to go with the Lagunitas Maximus. And my third is the one that I drink most, would be Pabst. Now, my favorite bands, though, that's a little tougher. I would have to say it's kind of a 3-way tie between Bad Religion, Pennywise, and Pearl Jam. There you go, I said it.
Yeah. I used to live in Portland.
Oh, I was a big Pearl Jam fan long before Portland.
Cool, man. My 3 favorite beers, let's see, I'm going to go with Stone's Arrogant Bastard as just one of my favorites. I love a malty yet hoppy beer. I just think that beer it made a lot of people become beer enthusiasts, and it was a huge beer for its impact on what it did to the craft brew revolution. So that beer's amazing. I'm going to go with my second, probably Man, it just depends, but I love the Golden Monkey by Victory. That was one of the beers that really kind of got me into craft brew when I started drinking about like 10, 12 years ago. And yeah, Victory out of Pennsylvania, they just make amazing beers. All their beers are phenomenal, and if you get a chance, check them out. And then my third, I don't know, it's probably the Hazelnut Brown by Rogue. I just think that's just such a clean beer, smooth, nothing too crazy. Just, you know, I just want a beer out of a big tall glass. That's the beer to do, man. I just, yeah, I've always had an affection to that beer, and it's just, you know, I like things that aren't broken, you know. So that's a delicious swig in my eyes. And let's see, for my bands, well, I grew up in the South Bay, so you know, Pennywise is number one. I've been run off the Strand more times than I can count watching their shows during 4th of July weekend, and they're just, I mean, they got words to live by in their lyrics. So my number 2 favorite band is probably Authority Zero. You know, they're just, the way they do some like rhythm sections and throw a little reggae and ska in their tracks. It's a fun band, party band, but they got a real serious note to them too. They sing about some good stuff. And man, my third, I don't know, Rise Against, Bad Religion, Strung Out. Those are probably 3 of the most influential bands. Probably Rise Against, just because you know, I saw them once at the Troubadour right before they blew up, and it was fucking mind blowing, that show. I thought that place was gonna like seriously tear down. It was unreal, and ever since then I've just been the hugest fan. So
It was a much different crowd when we saw them at the Wiltern, was it not?
yes, it was. Yeah, and you know, I don't think that they've stood to their roots. They've changed their musical styles over the years, and it's a little more like, you know, it sounds like it's kind of influenced by the record label to kind of be more, you know, radio friendly, but I still think they have always got like 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 fucking rad, just amping songs on each of their albums. So, but you know, their earlier shit, you just can't beat that, man. Revolutions Per Minute and Counterculture, and what's the other one? The very first one.
I always lose the name of this album.
You can see I'm not even trying to help. So.
No, it's fucking.
I mean,
The jukebox hit the Vicious Pig is broken, so I'd look it up real quick, but we gotta get maintenance on that. Brian got thrown through it last night, so we're taking care of that.
hence the unavailability. Yeah, I only have the internet in front of me, though. I guess I could look that up for us, you know.
What's the internet? What is that?
I forgot the question at this point.
Right? Say unraveling?
Oh, the unraveling. That's what it is. This conversation unraveled, and that's what the fucking album is called, is the unraveling.
Well, you want my beers and bands, or do you guys not give a shit? 'Cause
I want your bands first, then your beers.
bands first?
Band beer, band beer, band beer.
Ooh, wow, mix it up.
Okay. Should I pair them, or does that matter?
Dude, that's sophisticated by all means.
Bands, I would go with my number one has got to be NOFX. I don't know what it is about them. I love them. They're great music. You can dance to it. I've seen them a number of times live. They're unbelievable. I think they're great. Probably number two. And that is actually a tough one. You're right. This is a tough fucking question. You know what? No use for a name. It pains me that they're done, but Tony wrote some amazing songs, and I can listen to that live album any moment, any day. And then I guess I got to go with Alkaline Trio. I think Matt's got a great voice. I think his songs, sometimes they're creepy as hell, but they're fun and poppy, and they're just. I really dig him. I think he's a great musician, and it's amazing that those three guys can get that sound. Pardon me. Beers. My number one beer has got to be Anchor Steam. I'll take an Anchor Steam any time I get a chance.
Wow, West Coast beer for the East Coast guy.
what are you gonna do? It's a good beer, you know. And just
Anchor Steam is actually the gateway beer that the Stone guys drank, and that's where they kind of decided that that's what they wanted to do. They were having Anchor Steam beer, and I've heard that from a lot of like brewers when I've read their stories. Man, Anchor Steam was the beer that they didn't know it existed. It was like all this other stuff just paled in comparison after they had that. So, inside note.
And I like the regular Anchor Steam. They've started coming out. They're getting bigger, so they've come out with all those other flavors, which there aren't bad. The California Lager, I think, is delicious.
Of course, it's from California.
There you go.
Shit.
Yeah, I've always loved Anchor. I like the Long Hammer IPA. What the hell is that called? The Long Hammer IPA is called, I love it so much I can't remember the name. What's that? That's it. Yeah, Red Hook is the Long Hammer. That's the IPA. Yeah, it's it's funny. I was working at a bar and we had it on tap, and it was a great beer. The flavor of that, chasing a shot of Jim Beam whiskey, that flavor was just this perfect. You know, when you're working behind the bar and you got to move fast, you do the shot, you chase quick, and move on. That was great. And then I guess technically my third one would have to be Miller Lite because that's what I drink pretty much all the time. I mean, there's other options I would take, but with the PBR one that Kevin said, I guess I got to go with my Miller Lite.
Hey, that's a fine Russian Pilsner.
It won a blue ribbon twice.
It did. Twice. Like 110 years ago. 120 years ago, I think. Right? 1895?
Something like that. I don't know. I don't have a can near me.
Maybe 94?
I don't. All right. Well, hey. I'm glad Brian called in. Too bad he couldn't be here. I see the dartboard, Steve, and Kevin's got Ken Conte coming up for an interview here. So maybe we go shoot some darts, meet some of the people while he talks, and we don't interrupt. What do you say?
Sounds good to me. First round's on you.
No problem.
You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio on punkrockradio.net.
Wear uniforms. They both have shiny boots. They both use unnecessary force. One whips, one shoots. They both have a nightstick. They both are sadistic. They both have a tough beat. I think it's kinda neat that my stepdad's cup and my stepmom's dumb. I found a pair of handcuffs, I don't know who they belong. I don't wanna know what happens when my parents do something wrong. Oh, my stepdad's cup and my stepmom's dumb. They both lock people up. They both keep people down. They do their crazy jobs when I'm not around. Serve and protect, to get served with respect. They both think I suspect that my stepmom's a dumb and my stepdad's a cop. I can't explain the things I hear when I eavesdrop. I found a can of pepper spray beneath the right crop. Oh, my stepmom's a dumb and my stepdad's a cop. My stepdad's a cop and my stepmom's a dumb. I found a pair of handcuffs, I don't know whom they belong. I don't wanna know what happens when my dad does something wrong. Oh, my stepdad's a cop and my stepmom's a dumb. My stepdad's a cop and my stepmom's a dumb. My stepdad's a cop and my stepmom's a dumb. My stepdad's a cop and my stepmom's a dumb.
Hear this, hear this. Vic's gonna sing this new crazy record for us right now.
well.
Welcome back to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. My name is Kevin Wells, and right now we have a special guest on the show, the lead singer of The Implants and also the band The Tank, Mr. Ken Conte. Ken, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us tonight.
Oh, anytime. Thanks for calling.
Awesome. So, not speaking of news, but in the news department, you guys have just recently finished recording a new record. Is that correct for Implants?
Yeah, well, an EP, yeah. So 3 songs,
Oh, it's going to be a 3-song EP?
Well, I'm sorry, yeah, it's an EP, not a full length.
Okay. When do you guys plan on having that released?
Well, we just got finished final mixing a couple days ago with Ryan Green. So now it's going to go to post-production. So hopefully by the end of next week it'll get in the mastering process, and we're working on artwork. So we're looking at the early part of summertime, maybe May, June.
Awesome. Okay.
Right around that time, yeah. Hopefully before that, but you know, there's a lot of post-production stuff that has to go into it still. So
right.
You know, May or June is probably a more realistic time frame.
Okay. Now, the first record was done at El Jefe's home studio. Did you guys record this?
No, the first record was actually recorded at Red Bull Studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was originally recorded with Eric Stenman, who's done a lot like Save the Day and some other bands, and he works out of Red Bull Studio. So we recorded all the tracks in Red Bull, and then post-production we did at Ryan Green's studio.
Okay, gotcha.
So Ryan Green then remixed it, did a couple of editing things, and so it finalized it at Ryan Green. But the majority of the recordings were all done at Red Bull.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw something that you guys were recording at El Jefe's. Was that maybe just tracking demos?
We were doing some post-production stuff, but nothing was really. I don't recall anything being recorded. Although there could have been some guitar tracks recorded there that I wasn't part of, but I don't recall that part of it, to be honest.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, what kind of touring do you guys have planned for 2015?
It's going to be kind of sporadic, just because Strung Out has a pretty busy tour schedule coming up, just because of the new release of their record coming out. So our band's always been, we got our name Implants from us all being implanted from different bands. So unfortunately, with that name comes a lot of flexibility among us. So
right.
I know that Strung Out has some touring dates in Europe that they just announced. So we'll do some sporadic things. I don't know how intense this year is going to be, especially with just the release of the EP, and we're going to go back and we're actually going to start writing a new full length as well. So we got a busy year ahead of us working as well. So we'll see what happens.
Gotcha.
So we're looking to to fill in some times here and there. I don't know how in depth of touring that we're going to get this year.
Okay. Now, while touring, do you guys cook a lot while you're on tour?
When we were in Australia, we had the opportunity to cook quite a bit because we were put up in apartments, and so I don't know if you've ever been to Australia, but it's pretty expensive to compared to here in terms of just living in general and food. So we took full advantage of that. At least I did, and so every night we would have, when we were out there, we were touring with Face to Face and Masked Intruder and Death by Stereo, and so we would, and Strung Out, and so we would, we would cook a lot during the times we were together, and we'd have, one night there was a chili cook-off and different things. So yeah, we on that tour we did quite a bit.
Okay.
But in general, me and Rob are typically the foodies in the group, in terms of liking to eat and looking for places to eat.
Who's the best chef out of all you guys?
I don't know. Probably me, but I cook more than anybody else, I would think. But I don't know. Because we've never really sat down and competed. But I know, Rob likes to cook, and I like to cook. Dally's pretty much, he has like one thing he cooks, I think, at home, maybe two, but he tries. And then Jim's kind of more the help nut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you a trier of weird foods?
Yeah, I'll try pretty much anything. As long as it doesn't smell too bad, I'll try.
What's the weirdest thing you've eaten on tour?
On tour or just eating in
Or
general?
in general, I guess.
Yeah.
Whichever the better answer is.
Yeah, so on tour I would say kangaroo when we were in Australia.
Okay. How was that?
Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't anything to write home about. I've eaten it, so I don't have to ever eat it again. But it wasn't. It was kind of like gamey meat, I guess, but it wasn't. I'd rather have a steak. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
and then I wrapped it in Australian bacon, which is pretty much ham, and it just wasn't the same. But it was, I tried it, so I can say I've had kangaroo.
Okay.
And then in Thailand, I had some pretty wacky stuff, but yeah, that would probably be the craziest.
Okay. Now, is there a city or a restaurant outside of Southern California that you look forward to going to while touring or traveling?
Melt in Cleveland. I've never been there. It's a grilled cheese place. It's pretty damn good. We're pretty simple. So like we like to go to what is it? Crate & Barrel? Not Crate & Barrel. Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
We don't like to shop for clothes or
get some pottery.
Good, but, Cracker Barrel. And then when we're in Cleveland, we really like that restaurant called Melt. And then Steak and Shake is just
Okay.
it's pretty good. But we tend to we like to eat pizza too, so we like to try pizza from all over the place. So that's always fun.
Where have you found the best pizza?
Wow, it depends. I mean, New York has some pretty damn good pizza, but so did Boston and Chicago. So, and then LA has some really, really good spots. So I would say those are the four top. If I had to choose one, I'd say probably New York.
Okay. Now, for people outside of Southern California, what is your favorite restaurant here or around where you live? Like, what's your go-to restaurant?
It depends on what. I like Hole in the Walls a lot, but there's a little place called Noodle World, which is pretty cool, and it's there's one out by you in Alhambra. You live in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Alhambra, or Monterey Park, there's one. It's just kind of like just a noodle house. It's got different noodles from all over the place, and so I like that a lot. Or In-N-Out's always great if you just want a quick bite.
Right. A good burger.
Yeah. And I like pho a lot. So if I like those for to get some pho.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Ken, thanks for hanging out. Is there anything else you want people to know either about yourself or anything Implants are working on, or anything the Tank's doing?
Yeah. So the Tank, most people probably don't know. So we're working on a record, finishing up vocals and things right now with that. Implants has an EP coming out that's due out shortly, and people who've heard the songs have said it's better than the record. So we're looking forward to seeing what people think of that. We got some shows coming up. March 20th in East LA, and we got one on March 21st down in San Diego. So that's going to be cool. I think your band's playing with us, right?
Yeah, the 20th in East LA with the Union 13's out there now too.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that. So that should be some fun nights. And then we're playing down in San Diego the next night with a punk rock karaoke.
Oh, nice.
So that should be a good weekend of some fun stuff.
Is that a celebratory show?
What's that?
Is the punk rock karaoke, is that a celebratory show?
Yeah, it's a celebratory, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, so that should be fun. So, I just want to thank everyone who supported Implants over the last couple of years, and look for some. There should be some exciting news coming up soon with some things that are going on, and just thanks for listening, and thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you, sir. You are listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio on punkrockradio.net. We'll be right back.
right, well, that does it for us. I'd like to thank Ken Conte for calling in. I'd like to thank the Vicious Pig Saloon in downtown Mannersville for allowing us to broadcast from here. Thanks to the boys at punkrockradio.net. Thanks for Brian calling in. He really couldn't be here. Also, check out Burning Rose Studios and MRF Records. Remember that tickets for Punk Rock Foodies Sausage Fest at the Boo in Newhall, California, February 21st, are available for pre-order, pre-sale. They are. There's a link on the Punk Rock Foodies Radio Facebook page. Go on there, like the page, check out, get that link, buy your tickets. There's a comp of the bands performing at the Sausage Fest. So you want to check that out too. And Punk Rock Foodies Facebook group. Gotta get there. Be part of the fun. All right, Bone-Ape-Tit, everyone.
Live by the river to the imitation zone. Forget it, brother, you can go it alone. London calling to the zombies of death. Quit holding out and draw another breath. London calling, and I don't want to shout, but while we were talking, I saw you nodding out. London calling, see we ain't got no hide, except for that one with the yellowy eyes. The ice age is coming, the sun's zooming in, engines stop running, the wheat is going big, a nuclear error. But I have no fear, 'cause London is drowning.